Well, one of the things we try to do is we like to give prospective parents or families who want to come to Danbury, we like to give them a tour of the facilities. And what we really usually like to do is have them come when school is actually in session so they can actually see the day-to-day, what it's like to being in a small school. Having about 600 kids, preschool through 12th grade, it's a different atmosphere than what a lot of those families are used to. So we like to bring them in, have them look at classrooms, walk around, go into a lunchroom, go in the library, look at gym classes, talk to teachers, and even talk to kids in the grade levels where their kids are interested, just to see, what the Danbury experience is like. So that's usually the most important thing that we do for those prospective parents. Well, Danbury contributes to the local community in a large amount of ways. Number one, we are the #1 full-time employer on the peninsula. So just from a tax base, we put a lot of income into the peninsula. But we are, as a school district, kind of the center of the peninsula for activities, for family events, for facilities such as a pool, such as the gyms, the cafeteria that people rent out. And our kids also provide a tremendous service for people in the community through a lot of community services, through a lot of the nonprofit organizations in the area. Some of the features that we provide that make it a strong educational institution, first of all, we're safety. Parents today, one of the #1 things they're looking at when they're looking for a school district to send their kids to, they want to send their child to a place that they feel safe. That from the time that the student gets on the bus in the morning to the time the student gets off the bus, that they feel comfortable that their student is going to be safe and be in a very safe environment. And we provide that, and that's really important. Second of all, because we're such a small district, we give parents and kids that personal touch. We have small class sizes, and our staff really goes out of their way to make the kids feel like they're part of the Danbury family. When we talk to parents and prospective students, we talk about both the asset and the liability of being in a small school. One of the sayings I always say is, it's an asset because it's a small school and everybody's going to know who you are. But sometimes that can be a liability because everybody's going to know who you are. Unlike a big school where if a student's not where they are at the end of the day, the building principal might get a cut slip or attendance slip saying, wow, Johnny wasn't there. Here, the child isn't in class that period. We know right now, and we're on it right now. So good thing is everybody knows about your business, but sometimes that can be a liability that everybody seems to be always in your business. So it can be both a pro and a con. From a facility standpoint, we've done a lot of facility renovations to upgrade the facility, both in terms of our infrastructure, but also technology-wise with our Wi-Fi and trying to bring us up into the 21st century in terms of technology. So our kids are better prepared to be college or career ready, which is one of the state goals. From a award standpoint, our high school over the last 3 years has been awarded by U.S. News and World Report as one of the top high schools in the country, and our test scores have been our test scores and report card scores have been very good. So those have been really positive accomplishments that we've had over the last 3 years. Goals are very important to me, and I'm a firm believer that as a school district, you either get better or get worse every year. So one of my goals every year is, what are things we can do to make this a better learning environment for our kids, but also make it better institution, both from an academic standpoint, extracurricular standpoint. So every year we really strive to improve test scores, improve the learning environment. I think we have to do a better job of communication. We have just introduced our Facebook page last year with Schoology, with our website. We're probably going to be, over the first year, going to be going to Twitter. Just try to find, we've sent out some community literature, profiles, newsletters, trying to do a better job. One of our goals is to try to do a better job providing more communication, both not just to our community, but also, to our parents and people who have stakeholders, in our school district. The biggest problem that I feel is we need more kids. The more kids we can provide, the more kids we have, the more programs that we can provide, and the better product that we can put out. There's so much out there in terms of for college level classes, for classes we would like to offer in academic areas, for extracurriculars, stuff that we would really like to offer. We just don't have the kids to put in them. A lot of times right now we are stretching our kids real thin. We provide our students the opportunity to do whatever they want. But unfortunately by doing that, sometimes our kids are being stretched into 5 different sports, plus they want to be in a play, plus they want to be in choir, plus they want to be in a march, they want to do all those things. And because we have such a small pool to draw from, sometimes that's tough, that's a problem. So I would really like to be able to increase enrollment to the point where we have a bigger pool of kids to be able to draw and offer more programs. I think if you want to be, I'll use swimming for example, if you want to be on a swim team or a tennis team, those are programs that we don't offer, and if that's a sport you're very strong in, you would probably go to a neighboring school for that reason. For the most cases, that would be an area that we would lose kids. They would choose to go to another district for sports such as that. If we had about 50 students to grade level, okay, that would give us enough kids where we could be competitive sports at every level. Right now, we are averaging between 35 and 40 kids at grade level. What we need to do is get that, if we get that up to 45 to 50 kids at grade level, that gives us a bigger pool, to draw from, and allows kids to be able to look into more programs, and so we can expand programs. Our staff treats our kids like they're their own kids. They care for them. It's a very personal relationship. Our kids, like I said, they treat them like their own kids. Our staff is excellent. When they talk about the Dan Mary family, that's how they treat them, as like they're part of their family. And when our kids succeed, our staff feels like they're succeeding along with them. And when our kids fall or our kids fail or something happens to our kids emotionally or tragically or something, it affects our staff tremendously, because they take a lot of ownership into the lives of our kids. One of the goals that we have when we hire people, that's one of the big questions, one of the things we look at when we're going through the hiring process. We want kid-centered individuals. We want people who are going to put kids first, and it's a very important ingredient when we're going through the whole hiring process. Is this a kid-centered person who really truly wants to be around kids and cares about kids? And it's an important aspect, when we look for future employees from in all positions, from our classified staff and our certified staff. Our community is very supportive of the school district. If you go, our volunteer list is huge for a school district this size. When we have things like Science Olympics, for example, we get everybody in the community. You could, if you were if you were a thief who wanted to steal something, that would be a great night to do it, because everybody in the community is here for something simple like Science Olympics. We get a ton of volunteers. They volunteer with our PTCO, with our PYAL groups, our PRI groups, the parent community members, and a lot of the people haven't had kids in the district for 20 years. And they're volunteering all the time, helping out. It's really it's very important for them. Financially, we're a very sound school district. We have not had an operating levy going on almost 30 years. So and we don't plan on putting one on. So financially very sound facilities. We have made, in the past 5 years, we've had two renovation projects, and we're planning on probably having a third one coming up to make sure our facilities are top notch, that we're providing both our staff and our kids the best educational environment that we can for them. So we're sound in that area. Our test scores are good. We can always improve. We're not where I think we need to be, or where our staff thinks I need to be. So those are all areas that we can always strive to improve on, but we're very financially, facility-wise, academically, a very safe, sound school district.